Welcome to Ink and Insights, where ideas meet imagination and voices shape the future. Today, we shine the spotlight on one of South India's most versatile and celebrated actress, Priyamani. Born in Bangalore, Priyamani has captivated audiences across Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and Hindi cinema. From her unforgettable performance in Paruthi Veeran, which earned her the National Award for Best Actress, to her graceful presence in films like Ravanan and Pranchiyathan and The Scent, she has proven time and again that she is a powerhouse of talent. Beyond the silver screen, Priyamani has also become a familiar face on television, judging dance reality shows and inspiring a new generation of performers. With her career spanning 2 decades, she continues to embody strength, versatility, and elegance, a true icon of Indian cinema. In today's episode, we'll journey into the life and legacy of Priyamani, an actress who has redefined what it means to be both critically acclaimed and commercially successful. Priyamani, welcome to Ink and Insights with Sumit Sharma Samir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You have worked across 5 major film industries in India. How do you adapt your craft to different languages and audiences?
Well, to be really honest, for me, language has never been a problem. Um, the only thing that probably would be, or the only thing that is different is your directors, your script, that is your story in every other language, your co-star every other language changes, and your unit every other language changes. But pretty much the working style in all the 5 languages has been pretty much the same.
Right.
Uh, so for me, like I said earlier, language has never been a problem, and I think I'm quite fortunate enough that all the said languages have accepted me with open arms.
Right. Priyamani, Paruthi Veeran was a turning point in your career. What did that role teach you about yourself as an actor?
I really, well, that's a very interesting question. I don't know what it taught me, but one thing I can definitely say is I think I started taking myself a little more seriously post that film, as in terms of offers, the future films that I would be a part of, the scripts that I would be a part of. Yes, some of them post that, some of them worked, some of them didn't, which is fine, which is it's a part and parcel of being in the industry. But I think even the industry also sort of sat up and looked at me from another perspective, and um, I started getting more and more offers and more. I was taken into consideration a lot more than probably what was before Parithiveer. And I'm not saying that I didn't get offers or anything. I did, but I think post Parithiveeran, the offers started coming, more offers started coming in, and I started becoming a little more wise and choosy as to what projects I wanted to be a part of. And like I said, some projects which I was a part of didn't work, but that's okay. As I said, it's part and parcel of being in the industry.
Right. How has your, approach to acting evolved over the past 2 decades?
I don't know. Maybe it's become a little more realistic, is what I can say.
Right.
Maybe the approach that I have, I sort of try to bring in a little more realism in it, and I try to bring in or think about real aspects of life, or what, probably if I was thrown into such a situation in real life, how I would react. So maybe in that sense, you can say that has evolved.
Right. Right. And, what's the most challenging role you think you have ever played and why?
Oh, there have been 3 films, which even till date, I'd say that physically, mentally, and emotionally it was challenging, and it literally drained me, in all these senses. One was obviously the national award winning film Parthiviran, because, well, if you see it outwardly, it's a story, it's a rural subject, it's based in a village backdrop, against a village backdrop, and where, if you see, it's all about this girl whose her main aim is to marry the hero, and she doesn't mind repeating classes, 3 4
Mhm.
times, but her aim
Right.
is she just wants to marry the hero. She wants to be
Okay.
his wife because ever since they were young, he sort of promised her that, or they made a promise that, after they grow old, they would get married to each other. So she ideally kept up that promise, whereas he had other things in mind, where um, his aim was to he becomes a petty thief and things like that, and his main aim is to be featured in the opening column of the newspaper.
Right. Right.
uh, but so her persistent thing, that she's very persistent, that she wants to marry him, and she sort of uh, goes to lengths and breadths to see to it that she marries him and things like that. So the reason why I said physically, mentally, and emotionally, that was one of the first films that drained me, was because we shot for quite a number of days, as in we shot for about
Mhm.
almost about 165 days on and off, not at a stretch, and we shot in extreme conditions. And one thing I can say is the director Amir Sultan. I mean, obviously, credit goes to him, because I am who I am because of that film, and because he
Right.
made the character of Muttarga so strong. And initially, the movie was supposed to be like a romantic comedy sort of a thing, but I think as it progressed, as we started shooting, I think he changed the whole climax of the film, and it is what it is because of that. So obviously, full on credit goes to him and the entire unit for being so cooperative, even after every time we met, after a long gap. We were all the same, and with the same energy we came back. We shot in extreme conditions, as in terms of, if we would shoot today and the scene wasn't, if we hadn't finished the scene, light, as in terms of the sunlight, because all we used were all natural lights and things like that. So if it was an outdoor shoot, and
Right.
if we hadn't finished the scene and we come back the following day, and if we didn't find the same light, we would wait for the light to come and then shoot. Or if we
Oh
didn't
my
find the
God.
light, we would just wrap up, and he would just say pack up, oh, it's a wrap, and we would just go. So there have been a lot of days where Abir sir has come onto the set. He has seen the location. If he didn't like the location, he would just say pack up, and we would just go. And there have been
Right.
days when there have been times when we've come to the location at 6 in the morning. That is Karthi, me, and the entire unit. He used to come in at about 7 o'clock, just about half an hour, 40 minutes after we did. Um, he used to come. He used to check the locations, and if he didn't like it, he would just say pack up. So ideally, we would just have breakfast at about 8 o'clock, and go back to the room and just chill the whole day. So there have
Right.
been days that we've done that, simply because I'm just saying that that man was such a perfectionist that if he just didn't think that the scene was good enough for, or the location was not good enough for the scene, he would
Right.
not shoot, or we would not. It's not that sometimes he wouldn't even have a backup scene to be shot at the same place, because he's like, okay, you know what, I have 5 scenes to be shot here. I can't shoot anything here. Now if we travel elsewhere, nothing else is planned for the day, so just it's a wrap. So like I said, as actors, sometimes Karthi and I would be like, oh, okay, it's a holiday. You get up, you come. The director didn't like it, go back at 8 o'clock, and just waste the whole day, do whatever you want to. There have been days
Right.
like that, and there have been days sometimes, like I said, if the light was not okay, if he didn't find the same light, he would just wrap up and he would say, no, I'm not shooting it. Or the first month that we were shooting for the film, Karthi and I would just, early morning we used to come, we used to do some montage shots, take
Mhm.
rests the whole day, and then again in the evening, again for another hour or something, like 5 to 6 when the sun is setting, we would do a montage thing. So I think in that way he was sort of get used to the background and things like that. And we didn't have vanities at that time, so we had to use somebody's houses as changing rooms, or if we had to use the washroom, we had to go to somebody's house and use the washroom there. So like I said, looking back at it, I really like the whole experience of it. Like I said, we shot in harsh weathers and things like that. So that was the first film. The second film was a film called Tirakada in Malayalam, where it was
Mhm.
based on a life of an actress from 1982 to 2008, and part of it is it's a real story. which I got to know as we were shooting it. So that also sort of physically and mentally, emotionally took a lot of toll on me in terms of the makeup, because after a certain point in time in the film, she is diagnosed. The woman, the protagonist there, is diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So
All
the
right.
look of the cancer thing, and so the makeup and everything took about 3 hours to set to get it done. And
Mhm.
so yeah, that took a toll. And then after that, the body language on how they walk, because after the chemo it's really tiring, and it's not a pretty sight.
Right.
So that also took a lot of toll. And the third film is this film called Charulata, where I had to play conjoined twins. And that is, we were joined in the hip.
Mhm.
So that also took a lot of toll on me, because I had, since I was doing both the characters, right? So I had to shoot one character to do the scene, then go back, change, come back as the other character and do the same thing. So ideally, it took a toll on all of us, because I had to change the look and everything. Apart from that, the body double who was there with me, I mean, kudos to that girl. She also did the same thing. The juniors had to do the same action. So these three were the most difficult films of my career, which, yeah, did actually take a toll on me.
तिमीसँग अब धेरै टाइम छैन है, बिहे गर्नु छ भने गरिहाल, नत्र घरबाट मलाई अन्तै बिहे गरिदिनु।
भर्खर 3 वर्ष भयो एमबीबीएस जोइन गरेको 5 वर्षको कोर्स हो के भो अचम्म छ एक्सक्युज मी सर मेरो 5 वर्षको कोर्स 3 वर्षमा सकाउन मिल्दैन
Get out.
हेलो
के सोच्यौ त?
के सोच्ने मैले प्रिन्सिपलसँग पनि कुरा गरिसके 3 वर्षमा पनि के हुन्छ 3 वर्षमा
के भयो भाइ? ल बस साउजी, एक कप चिया। कसले भन्यो 3 वर्षमा केही हुँदैन भनेर? यो हेर, एलआइसी नेपालको धनवृष्टि योजनामा 3 वर्षमा पैसा फिर्ता हुन्छ।
ए हो र
जीवन बीमाको साथमा धनवृष्टि 3 वर्षमा। एलआइसी नेपालको धनवृष्टि योजना। एलआइसी नेपाल।
Priya, I think you have also worked with directors like Mani Ratnam, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the most valuable lesson you have learned from collaborating with such visionaries?
I think it's just the pure craft of how that man, especially now since you named Mani sir, I think how he envisions the whole film, he envisions the scene, his lighting, his camera work, how he approaches the scene. So one thing what I learned from Mani sir was the first time he shot for a scene was after the scene after the wedding, or the sort of like the engagement song or whatever you want to call it. So once the prospective groom comes to see the girl behind closed doors, and then there's in Tamil Vikram, and in Hindi it was Abhishek. So once that character comes in, Veera or Veera, once that the elder brother comes in and he sees the fiance there, at that point of time, Mani sir came to me and he said, "Look, I don't want Priyamani to act. I want Bennila, that is the character's name in Tamil,
Right.
and Jamunia in Hindi." He said, "I want to see how this girl, Jamunia or Bennila, how they act given the situation. I don't want you to act. I just want you to react and go according to that, because ideally, if you see the character of Jamunia or Bennila is she's their stepsister, but she sort of bosses all the three of them in her own way. She's not scared of anybody. She is best friends with the youngest brother of the three. She has fond respect for the eldest brother, played by Ravi Kisan
Right.
in Hindi and Prabhu sir in Tamil. Whereas the middle brother, that is Abhishek in Hindi and Vikram in Tamil, they have sort of like a love-hate relationship. Yes, they are brother and sister, step-brother and step-sister, but they have this love-hate relationship going on. So she sort of bosses him over, he sort of bosses her over. So that dynamic also, Mani sir explained it to me very, very beautifully. And then once the wedding scene was done, and then she gets raped in the police station, and when she comes back, that scene also, Mani sir was saying, "Okay, look, this is your scene. I just want you to go all out. whatever you feel. I don't want to trap you in things saying just do this, just do this. But at some point, he also said, at some point in time, when possible, I want you to just fall down and start crying. So I said, okay. And I just followed his instructions, and that's
Right.
what you.
And did you cry?
Yes, I did. There was no glycerine. It was all natural. I didn't use glycerine on both the days. So the thing was with
Right.
Manisa was one day we used to shoot one language, and if we finished it on time, we used to change our costumes for the next language and shoot it. And since I was
Right.
doing both the languages, playing the same role in both the languages, I had to run and change the look respectively and then shoot the same thing. So that particular scene, that after the rape she comes back into the house and things like that, and the way she explains as to what happened and all that, so that scene we shot the Tamil version first, and the thing was, so we wrapped up that day by 4 in the afternoon. So we started at 8 or 9 8 in the morning, I think, and we wrapped up at 4. Then I told Manisa, I said, sir, now I can't cry anymore. My tank is dry. So he came to my mom, and the biggest compliment he told me and to my mother was, he said, does this girl have a tap on her head? I mean, you just turn it on and the waterworks just start. It doesn't stop.
Right.
So that was actually kind of the biggest compliment I could get from a director. And then the thing was, then we shot the same thing the next day, and the result was the same.
Right. Right. Priya, if you could swap lives with any of your characters for a day, who would it be and what would you do?
No one. Nobody. I'm very
Right.
happy the way I am. That is just, see, as actors, we are very fortunate that we get to play different roles.
Right.
What people actually, I think that's one of the plus point of being an actor, that you get to wear different coats every day. That
True.
one day you can be a doctor, one day you can be a police officer, one day you can be a detective, or one day you can be something else. So I'm just saying, I'm really lucky that I am getting to play different. I'm getting to don different coats in every film, in every other film.
Right.
But I would not like to.
Right. You're known for your versatility, Priya. If you had to play a role in a science fiction film, what kind of character would excite you most?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. See, I like sci-fi. I think there's one genre that I would also like to try. So let's see, as long as, I don't know, something like maybe like an After Earth or something in English, which came out of
Okay.
Will Smith and his son.
Right.
Something like that. Let's see. I mean, we never know. Opportunities are
Right.
wide. So
Right. What's a book, song, or piece of art that has deeply influenced your creative journey?
none. Nothing.
None.
I'm not so deep into philosophy or anything which says that, oh, you know what, this song resonates with me or this book resonates with me. I'm not that kind. I'm more of a person who sort of takes every day as it comes.
Right.
Every movie, I take it as it comes, and I just take it. I just go by my instinct. That's about it. I don't sit and deeply analyze and say, oh, you know what, this lyric of this song really resonated with my life. I'm not that kind of a person, but there are people who are like that, and great. I mean, if it's working for them, absolutely fine. I mean, I'm very happy for all of them.
Priya, we are audiences. We see you in cinema, in for 3 hours or sometimes even longer than that.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
misconception people often have about actors that you'd like to break?
That they think that acting is one of the easiest jobs. It isn't.
Right.
It's actually quite difficult. Yes, we are under the spotlight 24/7. Yes, like I said, we look glamorous. We wear different coats in every other film, like different coats. But to get into that, there is a process. As in terms of, like I said, there are actors who sort of go into method acting. Like if they want to act like a certain thing, they probably, I don't know if I'm framing this in the right way, but what I'm trying to say is, to get into the skin of the character, They go to lengths and breadths to do that, and that's phenomenal. That's great. It's very difficult to do that. But there are some who, like, I would say maybe I'm one of the few ones who can just switch on and switch off. I'm more like that. They
Right.
think that acting is you just come in front of the camera and you just act and go. Maybe to a certain extent it might look easy, but it actually isn't, because if you want to get the right expression at the right time, you want to emote properly, you want to make it look real, that actually might take a little time. As in terms of, I'm not saying shut yourself in the, I mean, I'm not saying it'll take 1 or 2 hours or something, but I'm saying it is quite a difficult job. You always need to look good. If you put on a bit of weight, they say, oh, you're looking bigger. If you lose weight, they say, oh, you've lost a lot of weight. So it is quite a tasking job.
Right, right. And these days, there are a lot of cinemas coming on the streaming platforms. How do you see streaming platforms influencing the future of regional cinema?
I've always said this, that digital is the next big thing in India, and it already is.
No problem.
So, like I said, I think it was during COVID that the popularity of OTT became a lot more.
Right.
Up till then, not many people knew. Oh, yes, there were platforms like Netflix and Amazon which did stream a lot of films and series, but because we had the luxury of staying at home and
Right.
we could just sit at home and watch what we wanted to watch at any given
Sure.
point in time. We could stop
Yeah.
the series, or we could stop the movie at any given time, rewatch it, or we had that luxury of doing that, and I think we still do. And it's because of COVID that all the streaming platforms today, you see a vast number of platforms. They've got some great content on it. They've got some great movies, some nice series that are being talked about, being shown on their respective platforms. So I definitely think it's the digital is the next big thing in India, and it's just going to go onward and upward from here.
Right, right. Priya, at some point of your time in career, if you might want to write your autobiography tomorrow, what would the title be?
I don't think I would want to write my autobiography. Let it be as is. I would like to just leave the world one day without. I would want to
Right.
be known for my films and my work. Not. I don't think I am that big enough or good enough to write an autobiography about myself.
Right, right. What's a hidden talent or hobby of yours that fans might be surprised to know? Your fans might be surprised to know?
I'm actually good at doing nothing,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
It does.
I'm very good at doing nothing. I can just sit, stare at a wall. I can stare at a blank wall how many ever times I want, for how much ever long I can, or I can just sit and be like anybody else. I can just sit at home, watch TV, or be on my phone or something. So I'm actually quite good at doing nothing.
Right, right. That's not easy, though. If cinema were to disappear tomorrow, what medium of storytelling would you turn into instead?
Books.
Looks
I
like
think-
ultimately you'll come up with a book.
No, I mean, I will read books.
Right.
If cinema were to stop tomorrow, I think the next best solace is a book, because I mean, if you see, my husband he's a voracious reader. He reads like crazy. We've got a lot of books at home. I think half of our bookshelves are just covered with so many books, which I don't even know what is what, but my husband reads a lot. So I think I would probably pick out some book and start reading, which I
Right,
already
right.
did read some books, but there are still some left.
Priya, my last question for today's program. If acting hadn't worked out, what alternate career path would you have pursued?
I would have actually gone into. I would have either been an air hostess or I think something to do with hotel management. One of the two.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
I was never academically inclined, so that was out of the question.
No, I mean, these days, people say that machines have also started thinking, so it could have a mind of its own, Priya. So,
Yeah, no, it's showing me some helicopter circuit or something like that. I don't even know what it is all about. Some Somasila Sri Sailam helicopter circuit. And I have absolutely no idea. I know Sri Sailam is a temple. I've been there.
right.
But I don't know why it is showing me a helicopter circuit when I don't even want to travel in a helicopter right now to Sri Sailam.
Right,
When
Priya.
the calling, when Sri Sailam calls me, I'll go. But I'm very happy going by road. I don't think I'll travel by helicopter, and I know why it goes on showing me. So yeah,
But thank you so much once again for your time. I'm
Thank
really
you.
honored to have you in my platform. This is
Thank
the
you.
first
Thank you so
time
much
you have
for having
appeared
me.
in Nepali platform, and thank you so much for your time,
Thank you,
Priya.
thank you. And I have to say this: one of my very earlier films I've shot in Nepal.
Oh, did you? Wow, what a
Yes.
great thing to know. Oh, where did you come?
Yes.
When was this?
2003.
Right. Okay.
So we visited the very famous Babulnath, right?
Uh, where in Kathmandu?
Kathmandu. Yeah.
Bauddhanath? Bauddhanath?
No.
Pashupatinath?
There's a very famous Shiva temple, no? Lord Shiva temple.
Pashupatinath, no?
Pashupatinath, that's the one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
Right.
mistake. Sorry.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
Pashupatinath. We visited Pashupatinath and we shot in and around Kathmandu.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Priya, thank you once again for your time.
Thank you.